Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about the political divide in America. You ever get the feeling that no one's actually rooting for America anymore? I'm not talking about our enemies or our allies. I'm talking about us. You know, you and me, Americans. There was a time when we disagreed fiercely. But once the election was over and a president took office, we at least hoped he did well. Because you know what? If he succeeded, the country did too. That was the whole goddamn point. That's gone now. We've reached a place where half the country would rather see America struggle than see the other side get a win. How fucking ridiculous is that? Peace deal? Oh, that must be fake. Economic boom? That must be rigged. New jobs? Yeah, but my guy didn't do it. And that attitude? It's fucking poison. When Trump was elected in 2016, the opposition didn't just protest. They treated him like an invading force. Even when he brokered peace in the Middle East or brought supply chains back to America, millions refused to acknowledge a single damn win. It wasn't that his policies were bad. It was just that he did it. Then Biden came in. The pandemic response ramped up, unemployment dropped, and major investments flowed into infrastructure. But the other side, they wrote all that off. They called it manipulated, meaningless Marxist. They wanted failure, which is failure for you and me, which is fucking ridiculous. And now, Trump is back. He's in the White House again after 4 years of Biden, after January 6th, after all the lawsuits and scandals and nonstop media assault, he made it back. And instead of a nation sobering up and saying, let's at least hope this goes well, the knives came out again even faster. Some people are praying for gas prices to spike, just to prove Trump wrong. Others are hoping for another war or recession, just to say I told you so. How fucking ridiculous is that? It's not just the left. The right did the same thing under Biden. This is the new game. Root for collapse, then point fingers. Again, how fucking ridiculous is that? But let me ask you something. Who wins in that game? Because if the shelves go empty, if the stock market crashes, if the border breaks wide open, we lose. You, me, we all do. It doesn't matter who you voted for. It doesn't matter what sticker's on your goddamn bumper. You don't get to skip the consequences. We've become a country so divided that we can't even agree when things are good. We search for the flaws, we look for the spin, we'd rather be proven right than be secure, free, or prosperous. Again, how ridiculous. That's not just petty, that's fucking suicidal. I know people say, well, politics have always been nasty. Sure, but we used to have limits. We used to have a line between opposition and sabotage. Now, that fucking line's gone. And Trump, he's as much to blame as anybody else. I agree. We've turned politics into warfare, social media into a battlefield, cable news into a fucking firing squad. We've forgotten that we're all on the same team. Yes, you and I, Americans. You know who loves that? China, Russia, Iran. They can just sit back and talk about how fucking ridiculous we are. Because while we tear each other apart over who gets credit for what, they're trying to build influence. They're planting flags. They're trying to change the global order in a way that doesn't work for us. And here's the truth. It doesn't matter who's in office. Trump, Biden, Obama, anybody else. If half the country is rooting for failure, the president's job is hard enough. But if every win gets mocked and every loss gets magnified, then no one can lead. Not Trump, not anyone. So let's stop pretending this is just about red versus blue. This is about whether the United States can still function as a goddamn country. Because if every single fucking issue becomes a loyalty test, if we can't even agree on fucking facts anymore, we're not a nation, we're a cold civil war waiting for something worse. We used to celebrate American success. Now we treat it like a fucking partisan trick. We used to hope presidents succeeded, regardless of who you voted for. Now we pray they fail, even if it costs us everything. That's where the hell we've gotten to. And if we don't snap out of it, if we don't find a way to want our country to win again, even when it's messy, even when it's led by someone we didn't vote for, then we are fucking done. Not because China took us down, not because Russia outplayed us. Fucking Russia can't outplay themselves out of a wet paper sack. But because we stopped wanting to win. If you're done with globalist nonsense and ready for straight talk, subscribe to America's Geopolitics. This isn't about parties, it's about whether we even want to be a country anymore. And a quick shout out to our sponsor, W Energy. No sugar, no crash, no bullshit. Just clean energy to keep your head clear through all the fucking noise. Click the link below to support the channel and grab a tub. This is Frank for America's Geopolitics. See you next time.